Welcome back. This is 8.2 Measures of Central Tendency. So our objectives are to determine the mean for the data set, determine the median for the data set, determine the mode for the data set, and then determine the mid-range for the data set. So the mean is the sum of all data items divided by the number of items. So the sum, so this is your sum, and then X is like your items, and then over so you have sigma X represents the sum of all the data items, and N represents the number of items. So number of items. So like this would be types of items and then the number of those total. All right, calculating the mean. So documentary filmmakers depict the human condition through a variety of means. The graph shows the 10 most successful film documentaries and their box office revenues in millions of dollars. Find the mean box office revenue in millions of dollars for the 10 most successful film documentaries. So what you're going to do is get all of the numbers. So all of those revenue numbers, and then you would add them together, and then you would divide by 10. So you're going to add all of those together, divide by 10. So if we added those together, we get 890 divided by 10, which, if it's over 10, you just get rid of the 0. So it's 89 is your mean. So the mean box office revenue for the 10 most successful film documentaries is $89 million. So on average, that's about as much was spent for each film. All right, calculating the mean for a frequency distribution. So when many data values occur for more than once and a frequency distribution is used to organize the data, we can use the following formula to calculate the mean. Calculating the mean for a frequency distribution is your sigma xf over n. So where x represents the data value, f represents the frequency of the data value, and sigma xf represents the sum of all products obtained by multiplying each data value by its frequency. And then n represents the total frequency of the distribution. All right, let's look at an example. So it says, the table to the right shows the students' responses to the question, how stressed have you felt in the last 2.5 weeks on a scale of 0 to 10? With 0 being not stressed at all and 10 being as stressed as possible. Use the frequency distribution to find the mean of the stress level ratings. So we want to see how much we have in each section. So what we're going to do is you multiply, see how we multiply, so 0 times 2, so that's 0. So 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 12, 36. So these are all the numbers we're going to add together. So our mean would be, so 975 is our frequency sum. So we add up all those numbers together. So 1 plus 6 plus 36 plus 64 plus 90 plus 78 plus 217 plus 208 plus 135 plus 140. And they total to be that 975. And then if we add up our F column, that's our 151. Because that will give us how many we had. All right, so we are going to divide it by 151. So 975 divided by 151. Oh, not 115. If I wrote it the right way, 975, 151. So we get approximately, we should do approximation because it's not completely accurate because it's decimals, because we round, so 6.46. That would be our mean for that data set, or the average stress level for those 151 people. All right, median. So median is the data item in the middle of each set of ranked or ordered data. To find the median of the group, so arrange the data items in order from smallest to largest. If the number of data items is odd, the median is the data item in the middle of the list. If the number of data items is even, median is the mean of the two middle data items. So mid 1 plus mid 2 divided by 2. Okay? So adding those two together, then dividing by 2. All right, so let's look at finding the median. So find the median for each of the following groups of data. So arrange the data items in order from smallest to largest. The number of data items in the list 5 is odd. So thus the median is the middle number. So you line them up. So 84 and in order, then 88, 90, 95, 98. So we're looking at that middle number, which is 90. All right, finding the median. So this one, we arrange them in order. So starting at the lowest, so 7, 13, 15, 25, 28, 34, 47, 59, 68, and 74. So we have an even number. So we're going to get our two middle numbers, so 28 plus 34, and then we're going to divide by 2. So 28 plus 34, we get 62, and then 62 divided by 2, we get 31. So 31 would be the median of those numbers. All right, these are the 9 longest words in the English language. I can't talk, so English is not good for me. So I'm not even going to try and pronounce any of those. So what it gives us is the numbers. So we're just looking at the numbers of letters in each of the words. So we have 45, 34, 29, 29, 28, 27, 27, 25, and 25. So we're going to put those in order, just the numbers. So we begin by listing the datas. So 25 plus 27 plus 27, 28, 29, 29, 34, and 45. So n is 9. So the median is the value in the middle, or the n plus 1 divided by 2 position. So you can always find the median position by doing n plus 1 divided by 2. So we have 9 terms, so 9 plus 1 divided by 2. So 10 over 2, which is 5. So it's the 5th position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then see how there's 4 after that. So that would be the middle. So it'd be the 28. Would be your median. All right, finding the median for a frequency distribution. So there are 151 data items in the table. So 151. So the median value is, so you do your 1, do 1 plus 2, or 1. Over 2. So it'd be your 152 over 2, which is your 76th position. So you would count down until you get to your 76. So 14 plus 15, that's 29. So 29 plus 26 is going to be 55. And then 55 plus 31 is 86. So you're going to stop there. So it'd be somewhere in your 7th range. So when we're looking at this, so when we're counting down or counting up, so at 0 you have 2, so 1 and 2. And then 1 and 1 would be 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10 until 18. So you're adding your points. So kind of like we did up here. So going from this position. So you would just stop here at your 76. So the 76 data item is 7, so the medium stress level rating is 7. All right, comparing the median and the mean. So it says 5 employees in a manufacturing plant earn salaries of $19,700, $20,400, $21,500, $22,600, and $23,000 annually. The section manager has an annual salary of $95,000. Find the median annual salary for the 6 people. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So because there's 6, we want to add the 2 in the middle together. So 2 below and 2 above, and then divide by 2. So if you arrange them in order, so you have 19,700, 2,400. So they're listed in order anyways. 21,500, 23,000, and then 95,000. So we have 6, so that means we take the middle 2 and then divide by 2. So 21,500 plus 22,600 divided by 2. So we get 44,100 divided by 2, which gives us our median of 22,050. So that's like the middle of your salaries. Now let's compare that to the mean to get the true average of all of those. So if we added all those together, so 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and then the 95, all of those thousands of dollars together. So it'd be 202,200 divided by 6, because remember we're doing all 6 terms. So we would get 33,700. So it's close to the median, but not quite. See how there's a lot of difference? We have that outlier, is kind of what it's called, when it's completely outside of your data or not close to what the other ones are. So we have a high number that's way out of our range. So that throws your mean value off for your data. All right, mode. So the mode is the data value that occurs most often in a data set. If more than one data value has the highest frequency, then each of these data values is a mode. If there is no data value that occurs most often, then the data set has no mode. All right, so finding the mode. So we have 3 examples. So you're looking at ones that repeat. So we have a 7 that repeats. So our mode is 7. In this one, we have no repeat, so it is no mode. This one, we have 2 3s and 2 6s. So both 3 and 6 R mode, and it's bimodal. So you're just looking for the numbers that repeat in your data set. Whether you have one that repeats or you have none or multiple, those are your examples of your modes. All right, mid-range. The mid-range is found by adding the lowest and highest data values and dividing the sum by 2. So you take the lowest value, then the highest value, then divide by 2. So that gives you a midpoint or mid-range. All right, so let's look at an example for mid-range. So it says Newsweek examined factors that affect women's lives, including justice, health, education, economics, and politics. Using these 5 factors, the magazine graded each of the 165 countries on a scale from 0 to 100. The 12 best places to be a woman and the 12 worst places to be a woman are shown on the table. So here's the table. So it says, find the mid-range score between the 12 best countries to be a woman. So these are our best. So we want the high and then the low. So we're going to do 87.2 plus 100 and then divide by 2. So best place with lowest score and then best place with highest score and then divide by 2. So adding those together, we get 187.2 divided by 2, which gives us 93.6. So that would be your mid-range score is 93.6, which kind of makes sense because about midway through, like these values are close to that range. And then if it asks for the worst places to be, we would do that for the worst, but it only asks for the best countries. And that is it. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, work on your assignment.